Welcome to the deep dive. What if the most important co-writer on your favorite hit song isn't actually a person at all, but, the actual room where the song was written?
Right, like the physical space itself.
Yeah, exactly. So your mission today is uncovering the physical spaces where these EarthSTARS SongLAB sessions take place. We're exploring why changing your geography might just be like the ultimate cheat code for the creative process.
It's honestly an aspect of art we almost always just ignore. I mean, we picture the final product, right? The glitzy recording studio or the glowing laptop screen.
Oh yeah, the stereotypical genius in a dark room.
Yeah, treating creativity like this invisible internal lightning strike. But the source material outlining these song labs points to something incredibly grounded. The physical space isn't just a passive backdrop, it is an active ingredient in the art.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because for those who aren't familiar, an EarthSTAR Song Lab is basically this intensive pop-up creative incubator.
Highly curated.
Yeah, right. You take a group of artists, producers, and storytellers and drop them into these global settings for a few days. The sources list specific places like studio camp retreats, artist residences, cultural hubs, and totally nature-immersed locations.
Really wildly different environments.
Right. But honestly, I have to play devil's advocate for a second here. Imagine trying to write this soul-stirring, collaborative melody in, I don't know, a windowless, fluorescent-lit office cubicle versus a serene, nature-immersed retreat.
That sounds miserable, the cubicle, I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd argue that setting fundamentally dictates the boundaries of imagination. But still, shouldn't a true genius just be able to write a masterpiece in a broom closet? Like, why go through the massive expense of flying everyone out to an oceanside retreat?
Well, it's a totally logical question because on the surface, it just sounds like a luxurious perk, right?
A vacation, basically.
Exactly. But what's fascinating here is that these inspiring creative environments around the world aren't just chosen for aesthetics,
So it's not just for the Instagram photos.
right? They aren't booking a cabin in the woods to take nice press photos. They are deliberate tools used to shift artists and storytellers out of their routine mindsets.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a psychological tool known as environmental disruption. When a creator is at home, they have their routine, the usual commute, the standard social obligations.
Right, the brain is just operating on autopilot.
Exactly. By physically extracting them and placing them in a totally alien environment, you forcibly strip away that daily creative armor.
Wow. I mean, I guess routine creates complacency, right? Like, think of a creator's daily life like a deeply grooved dirt road.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, the brain just wants to follow the existing ruts because it takes zero energy. Dropping them into an entirely new environment, say a remote studio in a forest, is like paving over that road with a foot of fresh snow.
Yes, and they have to carve entirely new neural pathways just to process the novel sights, sounds, and rhythms around them.
Exactly. So what does this all mean? When we look at the actual output of these EarthStar Song Labs, what are the tangible results these specific locations produce?
Well, there is a direct correlation between the setting and the sonic DNA of the output. Like when a lab is hosted in a dense, bustling cultural hub, you often see a spike in high BPM, heavily layered pop tracks.
Because they are literally absorbing the kinetic energy of the city.
Precisely. They're collaborating deeply, bouncing off that energy. Conversely, those isolated artist residencies out in nature consistently produce more introspective, acoustic, or just emotionally raw material. The environment is physically steering the ship.
That is wild. The geography literally changes the music.
It really does. So
Yeah.
if we connect this to the bigger picture, the ultimate purpose of these spaces is to allow artists to focus on meaningful creative work. The core insight from the sources is that sometimes placing people in the exact right environment is the literal catalyst that allows great songs and great ideas to finally emerge.
Which means you simply cannot separate the final art from the environment in which it was born.
You really can't. And we've seen how a cultural hub or a nature retreat can pull a completely different kind of song out of a musician.
Right.
It really makes you wonder, if you are feeling stuck on a project or lacking inspiration in your own life right now, how much of that friction is simply due to your current physical environment?
That's a great point.
Yeah. And more importantly, where could you go today to unlock your next great idea?
Please join us at EarthStars, where you can have real social impact through art, music, and culture.